Fala galera do Mundo Mágico, this is I, the Brazilian Magai. So, welcome back to our channel. As I promised, we're gonna talk about Cursed Child and make a review about Cursed Child San Francisco and compare with Cursed Child in New York. And I'm dressed especially for the occasion. It's Valentine's Day month, and so for the sake of the month of love, I'm just dressed as French Beaubaton Academy. So back to the play. So I was able to go twice to watch Cursed Child here in San Francisco, and here's my take and everything, and comparing both of them. So in terms of pre-show for New York and San Francisco, so the pre-show for New York, I think you get a better experience just because the theater there is bigger, so they have areas for photo operations there. So you have all the flags for the houses, and you can take a picture with your house banner there. They also have a wall with the different patronos for different characters in the Harry Potter stories. So you get a little bit of a better experience while you're waiting to get into the show, or in between the shows in the intermission. So that's nicer there in New York than it is here in San Francisco, just because theater here is small, so they don't have this special areas where you can take pictures with banners or anything related to the show. You can take pictures, you know, with the wall backdrop that has the H for Hogwarts, but that's it. And that's you know, near to the line of the bathroom, but not the special flags or even the Patronus wall that they have in New York. Maybe they will add that later, you know, in the near future to the theater here in San Francisco. We'll see. Another venue that's interesting before the show or in the intermission is the bar that you can, if you are into drinking, they have drinks in there. But heads up, if you want to have a full experience, Harry Potter experience, they don't have butterbeer at the bar here, and neither in New York, and I think that's missing from the experience. They should have butterbeer in all the theaters, either here in San Francisco or in New York. And it's not something hard to make. I can even make some butterbeer here at home. You just have to have, you know, the butterscotch syrup and the vanilla soda, and you know, and other things here and there, and you have it. But yeah, that's missing from the experience in the theater. They don't sell those. They should do it as they do in the Universal Studios parks. Another interesting thing that you can do before the show and the intermission is the gift shop, and that's a nice thing. They have some exclusive ones. The ones that I have, I showed to you guys. This time I got Albus Potter ones, which you only can get at the shows, Cursed Child shows. So now I have both of the exclusive ones in there, which is Scorpius Malfoy and Albus Potter. They also have Harry Potter's wand and Hermione Granger, but that you can get even in Universal Studios parks, or you know, Universal Studios in London. So or you can even order online this kind of ones. But Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy you only can get there at the theater, and so that's something nice to get. And if you're going to the theater and if you're very into it, that's something that you can save money and buy there. They also have different t-shirts and merchandise from the play, and also other things that are related to you know, Harry Potter, you know, the Wizard Road. You can get Hedwig, you know, owl, stuffed animal there, which you can also get that in Universal Studios. You can get chocolate ones, especially here in San Francisco, because the factory that makes all the candies for the stories of Harry Potter, you know, the beans, which are the Jelly Belly beans with different flavors, the chocolate ones, chocolate frogs. The factory is here in California, about 45 minutes, 1 hour away from where I live, so not too far away, about 1 hour and a half probably from San Francisco. So because it's a very local thing, so they had that here in San Francisco at the gift shop and at the bar, but I think they did not have the chocolate ones in New York. I don't remember seeing that. I saw the other merchandise that you can get in Universal Studios, but not the candy, the chocolate ones, the jelly beans with the different flavors. Yeah, but those things are some nice add-ups to the experience, you know, before the show. So you can experience that. You can get into the mood for the play just by, you know, getting those things. Although I think the chocolate ones and the candy are very expensive there, because since we are local and we can get even with discounted prices at the factory. So for me, it's not worth it buying the candy that's, you know, really much more expensive than I can get in stores here, and even in the factory with discount. But you know, it is something that makes you remember about the Wizard Road and get immersed in the story. So with that said, show wise, so the feeling that I get, let's talk about the theater. So theater in New York is bigger, so there's more space for you to walk around. There are more space for photo ops. Here in San Francisco, the theater is smaller, so they had this, and I think they have this problem in here because they don't have photo ops for the shows here in San Francisco, and the theater is small. So say 10 to 15 minutes before the show, you know, there's this big crowd of people just waiting by the door to get to their seats. While in New York, although they have all this space to do photo ops and everything, say at least 30 minutes before the show, they will open, you know, the door so you can get seated. So that's the difference, and I think here in San Francisco they need to work organization a little bit better, or offer something that people can use as a distraction, like photo ops. So there's not this big lineup of people waiting impatiently to get inside of the theater. So that's something that they have to work the kinks out here. But yeah, that's one of the major differences that I felt between New York and San Francisco. Also, after the show, since New York is bigger, there were more space for autographs after the show. So there were more space for people to line up and get their books signed or their program signed by the cast. Here it's a smaller venue, so there's a smaller area for people to line up to get their autographs. But I was there twice this past 2 weeks, and it didn't, I mean twice, I watched both shows, part 1 and part 2, twice. although the area is small, there wasn't a big crowd of people there to get their programs or books signed. So it was fine, but just if you're coming here, and I do not know if you get in a bad day, plan to be there ahead of time. You know, as soon as you get out from theater, don't take breaks, because it might get crowded because the space is very small. But as far as I noticed, it didn't seem to be a problem, although the space is smaller. It seems that there wasn't that big of a crowd, not that many people were interested in getting their book signed, or their program signed, and talking to the cast afterward. But plan accordingly if you're gonna be if you wanna talk to them or get pictures with them or get their autographs. So the play for Cursed Child, New York. The characters that I liked the most from the show there were Moony Myrtle, because she resembled exactly the Moony Myrtle from the movies. It feels like Moony Myrtle just popped out from the movie screen, and it's right there in 3D, 3 dimensions, at the play. And she was very funny. So she caught my attention there in New York. And the other character that I loved a lot, love it very much to see being played in the theater, was Ginny Weasley in New York. Because Ginny Weasley in New York just introduced me to a different Ginny Weasley that we see in the movies. And I think it pulls more towards the Ginny Weasley that we see in the books. And also what transpired to me at the play is that Ginny Weasley transitioned from being the little girl from the story of the book to be a mini Molly Weasley in the play. So she's a very caring woman, but she's a very bold woman as well. So she's pretty much like her mom. And so I love it, this idea of Ginny becoming more like her mom, Molly Weasley, as an adult. So I love the Ginny Weasley there in New York, and those are the 2 characters that stood out to me when I watched the play in New York. The other characters were good, but those 2 really stood out to me. That said, here in San Francisco, the cast as a whole, they were really, really good. Their interaction between them seemed more credible than the ones than the play in New York. It's not it was bad, but here it was I could believe more. For example, that Scorpius Malfoy and Albus Potter are just this really, intertwined friends for life. They are really close to each other. It wasn't just, they're just representing characters in a play. You really believe that they were who they were at the play. So it was a very good acting. My favorite character in the Cursed Child in San Francisco was Scorpius Malfoy and Albus Potter. So that tells a lot about the play, because they are the main characters of the play, so they should stand out from the rest of the cast anyways. And they do that. They do exactly their job. Other amazing moments that they have at the play in between the characters are the interactions between Scorpius Malfoy and Draco Malfoy. That's a very credible connection as well. and Harry Potter and Ginny Weasley, their dialogues also show a strong connection, and I like how they portray Harry Potter. You can say whatever you want. I had a friend coming with me to one of the shows that I watch in, and that Harry Potter in the play is a very different Harry Potter from the movies, but it totally makes sense to me. He's not a child anymore. He's a man, a husband, a father, and in that sense, in that character, the Harry Potter that's in the play, it's very, very credible, and he's more emotional, more concerned father. So I really like it, how they portray Harry Potter at the play. It makes him more human, not like the invincible hero that we tend to kind of think of when we're thinking about a hero in a story. He shows lots of vulnerabilities, and I think that's more credible, and it's close to Harry Potter, even in the books, because Harry Potter, the books, he does show his flaws, his weak points, shows that he's vulnerable at many points. So this translated well also in the play. And by books I mean like the Harry Potter series, the 7 books. He shows a vulnerable human being at many points, and that's what the Harry Potter in the play shows, and I love that. I love that he is human. He's not just this superhero that does it all, and especially because the story is not about him. He is not the one that is supposed to save the day. He is, it's a continuation of his story, but he's not the main character of the story. So I love the way that was portrayed. And another character here in San Francisco that stole the scene, and he wasn't even a main character, is the girl who plays Polly Chapman. She's just a character that will be shown like in few scenes, but the girl who she played so well that she made sure that we wouldn't forget about her character after the play. So that tells a lot about your power of acting. When you're not a main character and you kind of steal the scene and call attention to your character at a certain point of the play, even though you're not a main character and you're not meant to be noticed, that tells a lot about your ability to convey a character and what you are in the play. And she did a great job, and the thing is the same character that was played in New York, I didn't even remember that she was there. I didn't even remember the character. I just realized that the character existed when I watched it again here in San Francisco, because it was so prominent against the other characters that you kind of notice. It's hard for you to miss it. I'm not spoiling anything. If you have read the books, you will know what I'm talking about. Character here in San Francisco, they are so good that you have to talk about all of them. Hermione Granger did an amazing job being herself, and it wasn't this overbearing, of being too smart. It was a good balance, and it showed like the relationship between Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, that in this play also, as in the stories in the movie, was mostly the comic relief. It showed a good balance because she didn't overshadow, or she wasn't too much for Ron Weasley. It seems that they have a good balance, and that they made a good couple, that it made sense, the two of them together. It wasn't like, oh, Hermione is just over the top and Ron is just this funny guy. They connected. It made sense, that couple together. So I think she played very well her part as Hermione Granger, because she knew how to be the Minister of Magic, but at the same time be the wife of Ron Weasley without being, okay, I'm too high level for this guy. So she was perfect. She just played her part very well, and it seemed very credible, the two of them as a couple. Yeah, so that's it. And also McGonagall, she here in San Francisco, she looked like exactly, at the play she looked like exactly the McGonagall in the movies, which was uncanny. But it was really fun to watch McGonagall at the play, because she also looked like that if she was was taken out from the screen and just placed it there at the theater. So it was really good, well played, McGonagall. And the technical side, I'm not gonna tell you all the things that are happening there, because I think that's the special thing about the play, that you go there and experience that, all the special effects that they have, which are amazing. And I told that to my friend, and she agreed with me, that you might not like the story of the play, you might not like the plot itself, which I know that many people don't. I don't have a problem with it, but many people don't like the play, don't like the plot, don't like the story. But despite all that, if you go and watch the play, you're gonna come out of there saying it was phenomenal, just because of all the tricks that they use there, the special effects, and it's worth it. It's worth it, the price. It's worth it, going there and watching the play. It's really Broadway production. It's really over the top. When I was in New York, I watched some other Broadway plays, and of the plays that I watched there, Harry Potter was up there. It was above, the other productions that I watched. My friend here, she said that she watched Hamilton, and I was asking her, how do you compare to Harry Potter, and she said in terms of dancing skills, Hamilton will fare way higher than Cursed Child, but in terms of special effects, no question, Harry Potter is amazing. And so you will feel that you're absorbed again into the wizard world, and you totally should go and watch it, because it's really, really amazing. Despite you might go a little bit skeptic if you have read the play, the book, and you feel like, oh, that's not reasonable, the story. But if you go watch the play, you will come out of there mesmerized. So you totally should go and watch the play. I highly recommend it. I have watched it already 3 times. It's really, really good. It's that good. It will just suck you into the wizard world again. And it deserved the high tickets, deserved the high price that it gets. The only thing that I will complain about the play is that because the special effects are so over the top in all aspects of the play, that there is one thing that it kind of seems to get a step down into the special effects when you watch the play, which are the duels with the wands. And true, because it's a live show, sometimes the wands will not work the way they are supposed to. So it happened, I think once, maybe twice. Yeah, and within the shows that I watch it. But still, even when it works, and I know you cannot, do a trick with a wand so credible, because it's firing something out of it, and so you don't want to hurt the actors, but it kind of all the things that's going on, it kind of breaks the suspense of belief there, because the shot of the wand doesn't fire straight at the person. It shoots a little bit away from the person, and so at that point you kind of feel like, oh, that's not quite there, not quite perfection as everything else in the play. But that's my only complaint with this almost 6 hours of play. That's just a small detail in the play that, if they can find another way to make this work, it would be a better play. But there are other tricks in there, even with the ones that they do, that it's amazing, and you just keep on thinking with yourself, how did they do that? So you should go and watch it, because overall the play is amazing, and yeah, it's really, really, over the top. Another thing that I was promising to talk about when I watched Harry Potter and Cursed Child in New York and compare with the one in here was, I was saying that when I watch it there, the part one, you just keep you pumped, you keep on you on the edge the whole time, and you feel like, whoa, what's next? That's amazing. What's next? What's next? And then the second part of the play, it kind of seems to be losing steam when I was there in New York. And I kind of get it, maybe. I think I found the reason why that happened there in New York. Because I watched it, the show in here in San Francisco, and first time I watched it in 2 days, part one in one day and part two another day. They break the show in 2 parts on Thursdays and Fridays, and at that show the cast seems to keep it up if you break the shows in 2 days, Thursday and Friday. So even the second part, part 2 on Friday, here was although it's not as fast-paced as it is part 1, the cast kept the hype there, and it was not as dynamic as part 1, because it's a different, they go in a different direction with part 2, it seems, but it didn't lose steam because the cast held it up very well for part 2 here in San Francisco. But I went there second time to watch it with a friend again, and we watched both shows in the same day, the second time I was there. And it seems that although the cast seems to keep it up better than the cast in New York for the 2 shows in the same day, here in San Francisco also the second show, part 2, seems to be losing steam a little bit. So it was less dynamic as for the first part. But maybe because I already expected that, but it seems that they did a better job in keeping up the second part of the show here in San Francisco. But my friend pointed out that she said, yeah, you feel like that. The first part is this big hype, and then the second part it keeps on losing the steam little by little. So it wasn't just me. It seems to be normal. It's just how it goes for the show. So part one is this big hype. Part two, it keeps on losing the steam a little bit, but I think they did a better job here in San Francisco than they did there for the 2 shows in one day. But I think that it works better, at least I felt that way, if you break the shows in 2 days, because then I think the cast is not as tired of acting for the first part and then the second part. They are refreshed when they come to the theater to play part 2 in the following day, and so they seem to do a better job. And I like it when I watch the shows in 2 different days. And it wasn't just me coming in different days, it was the cast. They just play part 1 at night on Thursday and then part 2 on Friday night. And then they seem to keep it up, the holding up the play better for part 2. So I think it's just a matter of maybe breaking the show in 2 days, and especially because it seems that it works better. I do not know the case of New York, but it seems that it works better for here in San Francisco because everybody's working, so during daytime you will see less people coming and more people come to the second part which is at night, or they come in on Thursday night for part 1 and Friday night for part 2, just because everybody works and people here work a lot. So and it seems to work better that way. So maybe it's something for production of the show. Think about it. Perhaps breaking all the shows in 2 and the 2 parts, and having one in one day, and the part 1 in one day, part 2 in the other day, and then following day part 1 in one day, part 2 in the other day. So, and that way the cast is rested and can do a better job, and also the more people will be coming, I guess. But I don't know how their marketing is working, and what exactly they are planning all of this. But by the experience that I had, I think that would make more sense. And okay, one more thing before I end the video. Also, in terms of character, my least favorite character in both the plays, in New York and here in San Francisco, was Aunt Petunia, because she was a good actress, but I do not know, it seemed so out of place. It didn't seem too credible, the connection between young Harry Potter and Aunt Petunia. I do not know, she seems to act very well, but I cannot point my finger, both of the actresses, New York and here, but I can't point it out what exactly is wrong with it. But that was my least favorite part at the play. Parts where Aunt Petunia was there, and I don't know if it didn't make completely sense, if it was her acting. She seems to act well, the part of Aunt Petunia. I quite do not know exactly what was wrong, but it didn't feel it was right. The points where she show up, I don't know. But yeah, that's the only character that it didn't seem to be right for the part there. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, that's my review for Cursed Child. And I don't think this is a spoiler because we have the books, and so the story is all there. I'm not spoiling for you what you're gonna see in there, because one thing is for you to read the book, the other thing is for you to experience that live, and live it's really nice, and it totally makes sense with the whole experience, and you should go and watch it. Yeah, but that's all that I have for you for today, and for today that's all, and ciao ciao.